Hello, Scorpios, and welcome into the Spiritual Noob. We are going to be doing a deep dive on your zodiac today. It's going to be kind of a long, lengthy video. The videos have been about an hour long. So if you don't want to sit through an hour of a reading, you can use the timestamps below to skip ahead to whatever you may be interested in learning about yourself at this time. If you don't find that you're resonating with this reading, you can try other placements in your chart that you have. If you don't know what your zodiac placements are in your chart, because we do have everyone has all zodiacs in their chart. You can check out your big three, your sun, moon, or rising, also Venus, if you're interested in like finding out about your love life. You can check out your Venus sign. If you don't know that, you can just stick to your sun sign, and you can check out my live readings that I'll be doing on Wednesdays, 2 to 5. Those are shorter readings. They should be around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And you may find that you resonate with the readings on Wednesday. So before we get into reading, please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. And let's just get into it. We're going to look at your overview. I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle to get kind of like a pulse on your overall energy here. Okay, we have beginnings. So this guy has a red thread. I watch 13 Moon Tarot a lot, and she has a thing about the red thread, and I can't remember what she says about the red thread, but that's kind of her thing. If you're a person who listens to 13 Moon Tarot as well, I'm trying to get the glare off the card. If you're a person who listens to 13 Moon Tarot as well, you may want to, or if you don't, you may want to check out that channel. Especially if you don't resonate with this reading, her readings you may resonate with more. This guy's also got an egg that he's carrying that's cracked. So it's beginnings, but there's a crack in the egg. It's almost like there's a new start, but you're coming into it with trauma. That's what I'm getting from that. Or some kind of baggage. Let me pull, I'm going to shuffle this one time so I can get the energy of the last reading that I did out of the deck. So let's pull some tarot cards about your overall energy. We have the Strength card and Page of Pentacles that came out, and at the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance reversed. I'm drawn to the yellow in both of these cards, which is giving me solar plexus chakra vibes. Solar plexus is about, self-confidence, self-empowerment. So you may have issues around that. Page of Pentacles is about grounding. You may need to learn how to ground yourself. And I feel like grounding yourself would be like doing activities outside. It's a great time for that because the weather's warmer and everything. So spend some time outside, barefoot on the ground, go for walks, go for a run, do meditative practices, actual meditation, or, you know, maybe there's a sport that you like. My dad used to like to play tennis when I was younger. I'm being drawn to think of that. Because you're also, there's an imbalance here with Temperance card reverse. You're Scorpio, so you're very like deep. This is a very deep sign. You may be too much in the spiritual. You may be too much in your spiritual like head, and you need to come back down to earth a little bit, ground a little bit, get some balance between the spiritual and the physical. So we're going to do your oracle reading. We have transits with climate, conjunction with alliance, north node with future, and then we got another north node card from the other deck that I pulled. So I used the Starcodes Astro oracle deck. I pulled cards from there, and then I also pulled cards from the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. And so you got the North Node out of both of those decks. You also got House 4 and House 1. So we look at transits and House 1. House 1 is about the self, individuality, self-image, and approach in life. So the climate that you're in, or maybe even the climate in the collective consciousness, because you're very deep spiritually, I feel like. Even if you're not aware of your deep spiritual self, it's there. The climate may not have been supportive of that, but with the transits, the climate is changing. And it is going to be more supportive of your deep spiritual self. It's all that transit card is also a master number 55, and the number 5 is about change. So there's massive change coming. It's a master number. Massive change coming. So we have House 4, which is about family, cultural and family, roots, culture and family roots. House, peace, and comfort. And then you've got North Node twice. So the conjunction with the alliance, so the climate is changing. It's becoming more favorable for you, and maybe within your family unit, the climate has been a problem. There's been a misalignment between you and the rest of your family members. So the climate may be becoming more favorable for you to make alliances and to come into conjunction with certain members of your family that it hasn't been that way in the past. You also have, so North Node twice. By the way, that number, the conjunction, is number 51. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is a number of like self-love, health. So really in this process, take it slowly and really love yourself through it, right? Make sure you put up boundaries. If there are certain letters that have been like a problem in the past or toxic in the past, and maybe they're changing a little bit, don't jump into a renewed relationship, right? Like ease into it, right? Take care of yourself. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. You have North Node twice. So the North Node card in the Starcodes Astro deck is 34. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is a very spiritual number. The angels are with you. It says destined to have. Future. The things that you have wanted and maybe felt like you couldn't get, you're destined to have it. And it is coming. Your destiny is coming in for you. Beginnings with the this oracle card, Wisdom of the Wild Things. There's new beginnings coming for you. It's destined, right? And I feel, and it's almost to the point where if everyone else has to change around you to make it happen, that's what's going to happen. But also, though, you have to infuse the situation with love. Give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. So you need to like overcome your ego in a way that allows you to see beauty in people, places, or things. But I think we're talking about family here. Find beauty in people that you may have had a low opinion of in the past. Give them grace, because the thing is that the way for you, okay, we're all energetically connected. And so if you're unhappy with the behavior of someone else, you can't change their behavior. All you can change is you. All you can do is grow. All you can do is love yourself and try to love them as much as possible. And don't love them in a way that's not loving to yourself. You need to put boundaries up to support yourself, right? But with boundaries in place, like you need to work on infusing them with love. And that dynamic is hard to navigate. It's a hard one to navigate, but you can figure it out because you're Scorpio, you're a deep thinker. You're not just a deep thinker, you're a deep feeler. And you feel into the unknown realms. And again, whether you realize you're doing that or not, you are. So you have the capability to do what I'm talking about. So the obstacle for you is you have the High Priestess and you have Six of Pentacles reversed. So you have a direct connection to the divine. It's coming in for you. But you also have a tendency to overgive. And it's like I was saying before, like you want to love people through the situation. Like you may have a high level of understanding of like the whole, like meet people where they're at. Like you have an understanding that people are in different conscious places. And so you're coming from a place of like the Jesus place of they know not what they do, like that type of place. You may be overgiving to the situation because you have a higher level of understanding. And this is the thing. You're not helping other people out by overgiving to their situation because they're going through experiences that are important for them to experience. And you having a higher level of knowledge or a divine connection isn't going to help them. They have to feel through it. Like literally, that is kind of human nature. You know, you can tell people up and down and left and right, but they don't get it. They're not going to get it until they experience it. And so your obstacle is that you may have a hard time just sitting back and letting people experience their experiences. Five of Wands reversed. There's a lot of chaos and conflict in the situation. It's very imbalanced. And that's difficult for you, which may be why the Temperance card reverse came up in the overview of the reading, because there is a very unbalanced energy in the physical, And you may have a tendency to escape that, right? Five of Wands reverse. It's like you're trying to come out of that energy. You don't want to be. These people are closely connected to you. They're family, I think. So you can't just walk away from them. I mean, you could, but I don't necessarily think that it's even the right thing to do in this situation. The right thing to do in this situation is just to let them have their experiences. And if you feel inspired, because you do have a divine connection, so if you feel inspired to like give advice, if you're, like if you're asked for advice, and you give advice, give the most divinely inspired advice you can, but also like take the temperature of where they're at and how much they can handle. Because if the advice you give them is like seriously misaligned with where they're at, it's gonna go right over their head, right? But it's through their experiences, it's through the negative experiences especially, that are going to help them to wake up. It's not through the positive experiences, because we barely even recognize the positive experiences most of the time, right? Like, it's the negative experiences that really make an impact on us and help us grow spiritually and otherwise. So stop. So I guess the obstacle for you is that I think escaping this chaos and conflict in the way, I don't know how you escape it. I don't know what your escape mechanism is, but the way you're escaping it is not necessarily positive for you, right? Or the other thing is, the reason it's an obstacle for you is that you see the chaos and conflict, and you want to come out of that energy. You want your family to come out of that energy. But the situation right now is unbalanced. And so you may get frustrated because there's really nothing you can do. You really just need to learn how to sit back and watch things unfold, take action when you're feeling inspired to do so, and otherwise just sit back, right? So then you also have the Hermit and Five of Swords reverse. So as an obstacle, this is reminding me of like when I don't meditate. I kind of would love to take up a meditation practice. Now is not the time for me. But when I was trying to, I have personal issues in my life that like would come up in meditation. And it made me stop meditating. So there's something about the conflict, overcoming the conflict in meditation that's an obstacle for you. Maybe because when you meditate, it's coming up and it's like something you're trying to escape. Like you don't want like I call this the shit starter card. You don't want all your shit that you're trying to escape coming up in meditation that you want to be a peaceful practice. And I don't mean meditation, it doesn't have to necessarily be meditating like cross-legged like the Buddha, right? It could be whatever spiritual, like I'll give you another example. I do daily taroting. Like I journal through tarot for myself. And my personal issues will come up in the cards and I'll be like, dude, I'm not trying to think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would like my journaling to be about me. You know what I mean? But when it's necessary this is the pattern that I've seen, is that when it's necessary to turn my attention to like the family drama, it'll come up in my tarot journaling. And when it's time to turn the attention back to me, my stuff will come up, right? So don't like run away from some kind of meditation practice because the conflict is coming up. You know, it's coming up for you to deal with your personal wounds around it and to transmute that energy. It's not coming up for you to reinsert yourself in the drama. It's coming up so you can transmute your energy around it. So you also have Ace of Pentacles, which is things being manifested for you, which is awesome. But you have Moon card reverse. So maybe things aren't necessarily being manifested for you because you have the Moon card reverse. So there's like a confusion as to how to get the stuff to manifest that you want in your life. And the Moon card is reversed here. So there's the confusion, and there's also kind of the lack of surrender to the universe. So really think about, if things aren't manifesting the way you want in your life, think about why that is. Think about the messages you've received through spirit and the ones that you've ignored. For instance, so I'm a Virgo, but I've noticed that I relate heavily to tarot readings, and I'm relating heavily to this tarot reading. And I don't date right now. Not interested in dating. Like, it's not my priority. It's not on my mind. I get a lot of messages because I do tarot readings daily on myself and stuff like that. I listen to tarot readings on YouTube and stuff like that. I also have a boss who's pretty psychic, and she tells me this all the time. But a lot of, like, I've been getting a message for like a year or more that I'm supposed to be meeting someone and getting into a relationship, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like that message. Like, for me, I'm not looking for that right now. But I kind of have an inclination that, like, what I want to manifest in my life may be tied to allowing that energy, like opening myself up to that energy and allowing it to come in. It may be also tied a little bit to the chaos and conflict in my own personal family, right? Like, I hope not. I don't like thinking about that, but it may be the case because I'm trying to manifest some stuff and it hasn't come in yet, and I'm not like worried about it, but I'm always thinking energetically, what is the block to this manifestation, right? So let's look at, that is the obstacle. I did your oracle reading. Let's look at how you are embracing Scorpio energy right now. Let's look at Scorpio energy first. Just to refresh everyone's mind, some of you may not be Scorpios. Just like I said, I'm not a Scorpio, but I'm always listening to Scorpio readings. So Scorpio zodiac signs are known for their intensity, passion, and loyalty. They are often described as magnetic, enigmatic, and deeply emotional. Scorpios are determined, brave, and fiercely protective of those they care about. They can also be secretive, possessive, and have trust issues. Positive traits: loyalty, passion, determination, bravery, emotional intelligence, magnetic presence, resourcefulness. And something went wrong with the internet, so apparently Scorpio does not have any negative shadow traits. Just kidding, I'm refreshing to see. No, it's not coming up. The shadow traits aren't coming up, so we're going to stick with the positive traits here. That's interesting. I find that fascinating. Do you have no negative traits? You don't have any shadow traits? Well, we found one already, is that you can tend to be unbalanced, right? You can tend to be too much in the spiritual because you're very inclined towards the spiritual. And when the physical world gets overwhelming, you may tend to retreat into the spiritual. Okay, Scorpio, so we're going to see how you are embracing your Scorpio energy. We have Page of Cups and Two of Wands reversed. Wait, Page of Cups reversed and Two of Wands reversed. You learn from your negative emotions. And when you feel misguided, or like, you know what I'm saying, when you feel misdirected or like you can't form a plan, you look to your negative emotions to teach you. Like what energy, there's an awareness. There may be an awareness, and you may be doing this unaware too. I don't know how much your awareness is there, but you may be looking to your negative emotions to direct you, right? Like you can see when something didn't work out well, or you have a negative feeling, and you can see how you were misdirected. Your plans were wrong. Like you can see that. So loyalty, passion, determination. Yeah, you're determined to figure out. It's like everything is a puzzle. You're trying to figure out like, okay, you have emotional intelligence. You're trying to figure out like, okay, I did this and I got this result. I got this negative emotion from this thing. Like, how can I work that energy out? You're aware. And these are like two cards that came out. 3 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. So this issue with your family, with the 3 of Cups, is representing your family. This issue with your family has obviously, you've known your family for a long time, right? This has gone back to childhood. So this issue with your family has been building up for a long time. And I think you have some loyalty. I think you do have some loyalty to your family, even if you may feel betrayed by family, disconnected from family, all of these things. Like, I feel like you are still loyal to them. You also have the High Priestess reverse and the 10 of Wands. So I think like the messages that come in for you that you don't want to listen to, you don't want to listen to them because they feel like a burden. Like I always say, I feel like every time I'm getting a message from Spirit that says some man is supposed to come in my life. Not that I hate men. I don't hate men. I'm just not in a place where I want to date. But when I get a message that comes in like that, I always tell my friend, like, I feel bullied. I feel bullied by Spirit. So they're the messages that you don't want to listen to. You don't want to listen to them because they feel like a burden. It's like you're being asked to do something that you really don't want to do. It doesn't make you feel comfortable. I mean, and not that it makes you feel uncomfortable in a way that's like, Spirit would never ask you to do something. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to be in a relationship, right? Like, I don't feel uncomfortable because Spirit is like, hey, you have a husband coming or whatever, right? It's just not something that I consciously like want right now, but my higher self might be, hey, you need a man. Like, it's good. It's not you need a man, but like having a man in your life is going to be in your highest interest, right? Because we always have needs and desires and feelings about things, but we don't know behind the scenes what's really in our highest best interest, right? But Spirit does know. So I just try to take it, one day at a time. And I just, I'm always like, well, when the right one comes, the right one, I'll recognize it. Leave it at that. If you want me to date somebody, bring the right somebody in. And so I would say with the High Priestess reverse and the 10 of Wands, the way you're embracing your Scorpio energy is through bravery, I think, because it's just like what I just said. Like, I may not consciously want a relationship, but I am open to it, right? Like, I am like, okay, like I'm not like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I probably said that before, but I do kind of, I'm open to it. If spirit says that's what's in my best interest, like, I believe them, I don't doubt it. And I'm open to it if it happens, right? And it's kind of brave to fight through, because me saying I don't want a relationship, that's my ego saying that, right? So me fighting through the ego and saying, if you think that's what's best for me, I accept that. That's brave, right? And that's a Scorpio trait. You got the High Priestess again for how you're resisting your Scorpio energy. High Priestess is coming out a lot for you. So you have, for how you're resisting your Scorpio energy, you have Eight of Cups and you have Page of Cups. So you're loyal, but you also want to walk away from the situation that is resisting your Scorpio energy. You're like, forget all this. I want to learn from positive emotions. I don't need Page of Cups. I want to learn from positive emotions. I want to learn from negative emotions. But you know what? When we try to guard ourselves that much from difficulties in life, we put ourselves in a situation where we're not growing, because every experience in our life is a mirror for ourselves, right? And if we don't have that mirror, we're not learning and growing. So it's very important to struggle. It is very important to struggle, right? And everyone does struggle in one way, shape, or form. And if you cut yourself off, so if there's an energy that you're meant to learn from, you're going to encounter that energy, regardless of if you cut yourself off from a certain situation or not. I think it's healthy to walk away from like shadow energies and not like put yourself in that situation, but you need to learn from it in the process, because if you don't learn from it, then it's still something that you're meant to grow from. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice if you walk away from a negative energy without healing. So I'll give you an example. Being in a negative relationship and you break up with that person and you don't grow from the relationship, you don't do any inner work, you don't grow, well, it's just that lesson is just going to come back to you. It'll come back to you through a neighbor, through a friend, through a coworker. Like, it's going to come to you, right? Energy is not confined to time or space. So when it comes to like family, which we were talking about before, and I'm talking about family a lot because the fourth house came up, and I think I have Scorpio in the fourth house, and family is a big issue for me. I think that's why I relate to Scorpio readings. That's why I was saying in the beginning, if you don't relate to your sun sign, check out your placements, your other placements, because you may find that you really relate to readings that aren't really your sun sign. Because I relate to Scorpio readings way more than I relate to Virgo readings, and I'm a Virgo. So the other way you're resisting your Scorpio energy, this is an interesting one, because you have the High Priestess and you have Three of Cups. So I already said this Three of Cups is like the family unit. And also when I say family unit, whoever you consider to be your family, that's what I'm talking about. It could be a friend group, it could be chosen family. It doesn't have to be your actual family. Although I think that when we walk away from our actual family, the energy of them is still there, right? The energy of them still needs to be worked out. So you have the High Priestess and Three of Cups. How are you resisting Scorpio energy? You're infusing your knowledge into this unit of people. But there's something about it. I have a inkling of what this may be talking about, but I'm gonna pull a card. I think you're not determined about it. I think you give up on it a lot. You walk away. Yeah, there's a lot of Seven of Swords energy in your family. There's a lot of lying, deception, thievery. And you're meant to be the light in this whole family unit that helps them come out of this energy. And I don't say that, like, please hear me when I say, if you have toxic family and they're affecting your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, you need to create boundaries. But also, these are the souls that you incarnated into this life with. There is a reason why these souls are in your life, right? So create boundaries, but don't walk away from it. I got to a point with my personal situation where I had to create boundaries for my own sake, and I had to do some healing. And then I got to a point where it was like, okay, now it's time to go back and infuse love into the situation. And I was like, man, I don't want to do that. I just got done getting rid of them. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you guys. But you know what I'm saying? So, like, this is not about permanently fracturing family units. This is about doing the healing work that you need to do for yourself. As you do that work, you're energetically connected to them. You're energetically connected to the whole collective, but especially the family that you incarnated into this planet with. And if you were adopted and you don't know your biological family, just do the inner work. Because wherever they are, the inner work that you're doing is working on them. That's the beauty of it. The more internal work you do and the more you change your energy, the more you change the energy of the whole collective, first of all, the whole collective, and also the collective of your family units. This is why family is so important. So yeah, I think you avoid the drama in your family. And I think you're like, I'm just not going to be, which you should avoid the drama, right? You should avoid it. But I think you need to discern through your High Priestess abilities, which I think you have very strong High Priestess abilities. You need to discern when to step in and say something, do something, take action on something, and when to just sit back and let it all play out. Right? Because when you totally walk away from it, which you may do at times, when you totally walk away from it, you are resisting the Scorpio quality of loyalty. Okay, Scorpio, so let's look at what your advice from Spirit is. You have 10 of Pentacles and the Hermit reverse. Your advice. So you may have been in hermit mode for a while. That's why you are so connected to divine knowledge. And I think Spirit is saying it's time to come out of hermit mode because your abundance, 10 of Pentacles, your abundance lies in coming out of hermit mode and taking your wisdom, infusing your wisdom into all situations that you find yourself experiencing. Your wisdom is needed. So don't keep it to yourself. That's the advice from Spirit. You have 5 of Wands. There's that conflict again. And 9 of Pentacles reverse. And don't... When you encounter conflict, don't add to it. Don't add to it. Realize that it is a mirror of them. Right? And it's not in a everything is always a mirror of you and them, right? But if you've done the work and you've gone hermit mode and there's still conflict around you, it probably says more about the other people involved in the conflict than it says about you. Let yourself be a mirror, a positive mirror for them. Don't add to the conflict. You have the Star card reverse and 8 of Cups. So for advice, anything that is unhealed in others, when you see certain situations, similar to walking away from the conflict, right? When you see a situation and you say, you know what, that they're reacting that way because they need healing around this thing. Because when you start to heal and raise your consciousness, you're going to be able to see all of that stuff so clearly. You're going to be able to look at a person's actions and be like, this is exactly why you're reacting to this in that way. You're going to see it so clearly, right? So when you see the unhealed fractals of their self, walk away from it. Like if you see them acting a certain way because it's coming from an unhealed place, walk away from it. That's when it's time to walk away, right? Don't walk away from the whole situation, because you're needed in the situation to infuse love. With the Venus, you got the Venus card that came out in your oracle reading. You are needed in the situation to infuse love. So you work on yourself, you do your inner work, and you try to infuse as much love into the situation as you can, not in a pushy way, but just in the most non-confrontational way you possibly can. And you let the energy of the whole situation work itself out, because you have to trust the universe. You have to trust the universe. There's a universal plan. And, you know, if everyone in the situation dies and you're the only one who woke up to the situation, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, you healing yourself in this lifetime is going to affect everyone that you have energetic attachments to. And that really is everyone, right? Because we're energetically attached to everyone. But, you know, also, it's going to have an energetic impact on the people like close to you in your family unit and in future lifetimes and past. Because the energy that we're doing, this is a thing, and it's so amazing. The energy work that we're doing right now have an impact on our present, past, future, and parallel lives. And the present, past, future, and parallel lives of everyone involved. I need to bring that oracle card back. With the red string, I don't know if when 13 Moon Tarot, when she talks about the red string, I don't know if she talks about it in the context of parallel lives or past lives and future lives and stuff. But there is a thread that weaves through every life that we've ever had every life that we ever will have, any life that we are currently having, and every life that we touch. It has an impact on the whole collective. There's a thread that runs through all of us. We're all connected. So work on your own inner healing, and you may not see that, you may not see the fruit of that in this lifetime, but it will have impacts reaching through time and space. So don't run from it. Don't run from it. Try to infuse. Love conquers everything. Love conquers everything. And it may not conquer it in a way that is apparent to us, but we aren't the big picture. That's the thing. We're avatars. The big picture is our higher self. This is a video game, and our higher self. So it's like if you were playing a video game and you are a certain character in the video game, the character isn't, I mean, the character is not important, but the character isn't the main player, right? So we as avatars are not the main player. We're doing the will of our higher selves. And the energy of that has no, it's not confined to time or space. So if things work out in this lifetime, great. And if they don't, then, you know, whatever. We've done our part. We've infused love to the best of our ability. But don't do it in a pushy way. Like, don't make it your mission that I'm going to infuse love into this family and blah, blah, blah. You sit back, you do your thing, you do what you feel called to do. And when you find an opportunity, like, because they'll start coming to you, because eventually they're going to be, you know, and this is the thing too. One of the traits of Scorpio is you're magnetic. It said that in here. Magnetic presence. You're magnetic. So if you're constantly like shooting out these rays of sunshine and love, they will eventually be attracted to that. At least they're going to have moments where they're attracted to that. They may find that in a moment where they really need some good advice from somebody, you're the one that they go to. Because they know that you are made of, the stuff you're made of is love. And they will be attracted to that. Okay, so let's look at hidden things. Hidden things. I love looking at hidden things. I want to know what is behind the curtain. What's behind the scenes? Oh gosh. Okay, we're going to look at hidden things. We have Ace of Wands. A lot of cards came out, so I'm going to try to do this fast. We have Ace of Wands and Wheel of Fortune. So this is a fated situation, and you're meant to take inspired action in this situation. But the key is inspired action. Wait for the inspiration to come, and then take action. You have Page of Pentacles reverse and Four of Swords reverse. So you're gonna wake up to, you have the ability to awaken to where this situation is ungrounded. And you may be able to call people's attention to that, but wait for the right moment. And I'll tell you something, if you're dealing with somebody that is very stubborn, don't push it on them, because they need to be in a situation. I mean, it's not that you want bad things or difficulties to befall anybody, but they need to be in a situation where they're struggling, because that struggle brings people's guard down, right? And then you can kind of infuse in a loving way, you can infuse your knowledge and wisdom. Plant that seed. So yeah, that it may be that you haven't mastered the ability to do that. Like you haven't mastered that. Like you have this information that you know is divinely inspired. And there may be frustration because they don't listen to you. They're not consciously in the place where they're ready to listen to you. You kind of have to wait until they're struggling a little bit, honestly. I'm gonna be real. Or they come to you. But when people's lives are hunky-dory and they're doing great, and their ego is already big, or they're already super stubborn, they usually don't tend to go seeking advice in those moments. It's usually when they're struggling. So you have King of Wands and Ace of Wands reverse. Hidden things. I think you've taken action on things in the past that weren't divinely inspired. It's like I said, you get frustrated. And you may have tried, your intention may have been to remedy the situation, but I don't think the actions that you took were always divinely inspired. You also have Queen of Wands reversed and the Hermit reversed. Hidden things. You don't want to nurture negative action. You want to come out of hermit mode with wisdom. Maybe this is about accountability. Maybe this is about coming out of hermit mode with wisdom, not just understanding of others, but understanding of self, because the understanding of self is the most important. It's not about everyone else. It's about you. So you may need to come, when you come out of hermit mode, you may need to really, and maybe you've done some reflection on your own negative actions, but you may need to start taking accountability for your own negative actions. Because the energy of that, and even if they are poo-pooing it, like I remember my son one time, I called him, and I was taking accountability for something super random that, and so he was like, I don't care. He actually got mad at me. He was like, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, the energy of me saying, hey, remember how I was way back when I used to lecture you about this and that, and whatever the case may be. It's like, man, I'm really sorry for that. That came from I understand things on a higher level now, and I wouldn't do it that way. If you were that age again, I wouldn't do it that way, right? And he was like, he didn't want to really hear it because he wasn't in the place to hear it. But when it comes to me taking accountability, I don't care if he's in the right place to hear it. This is about me. This is about me saying I did something that I regret, or that I whatever, and hey, I'm sorry, I'm taking accountability. And those words are planting a seed, an energetic seed within him, right? And I've seen some fruits of that seed. I won't talk about it, but I've seen some fruits of that seed. So do the inner work, learn about yourself, be honest about yourself. It's like I did a reading for Taurus that said their oracle card was like, invite your monster to dinner. No, invite your monster to tea. Get to know your inner monster. Get to know your inner shadow. Let it be okay, but because you know what? Especially I've learned that when I am accountable for my actions, I feel lighter. And the energy works out. I can tell that the energy is working out. So hidden things, King of Pentacles reverse, and Queen of Cups. So understand when your emotions may be grounded in the material, like how things should be, the social norms of certain things. You may get frustrated because, well, you're my mom. You're supposed to act like this. Like sometimes because we label people, we label ourselves, right? It's about identity and ego, and that is natural, right? You're my mom, I'm your daughter, you're my sister, you're my brother, you're my teacher, like we have labels for everything. And we can get caught up in those labels and we forget that the person who we've labeled is a person. Doesn't matter how old they are, doesn't matter what the relationship to you is, they're a person. They have feelings, right? They have shit that they haven't worked out because they're flawed human beings, right? Just because you're older than me, just because you're my mother or my father or whatever, doesn't mean that you know everything and that you do everything perfectly. So we have to have grace for that, right? Don't be so much in the material realm that you can't have grace. Nurture positive feelings. When you see that a person is acting like counter to what society says or the physical realm says they should be acting like, infuse that situation with positive energy. The Queen of Cups, she's all about positive emotion. She's nurturing positivity, love. She's nurturing love, right? So have grace for other people. We have the Devil card. And also, in terms of hidden things, you may not have ever thought that, or like that's something that's needed in this situation, and maybe you never considered it like that. It's a different perspective. So it's hidden to you. We have the Devil reversed, and we have Nine of Swords. This is interesting. So the Devil energy definitely causes stress and anxiety, but it's reversed here. Something about, there may be an attachment that you have to this toxic energy, or an attachment that other people in the circle has. But I would explore what attachment you might have to the toxic energy. Does it make you feel like better than other people involved? Does it make you feel smarter? Because I think you have a higher level of awareness, but like, so the thing is, the implication in these two cards is that as people come out of the Devil energy, there's some stress and anxiety. Which means that there's a bit of an attachment to the Devil energy. So what attachment do you have? You know what? So I don't feel like this now. So I was kind of searching for, because I relate to Scorpio so much, I was kind of searching for like how I may feel this energy. And I don't feel the energy now. I think I've healed it. But I do remember feeling like this. So when there is someone who you have kind of like labeled as the bad guy, or labeled as, well, they've done all this stuff, like they're the reason why, I'm not ready to let go of the negative feelings that I have for this person, right? I'm not ready to look at this person in a way where I truly feel like this is a divine being having a human experience, a divine human experience. right? I wasn't ready to see this particular person in my life in that way. It made me feel like, eh, right? So that is an attachment to the devil energy, because why not? Right? Why not? This is family. They're flawed. Like, why am I so averse to seeing my own family in a positive light? That's my own personal attachment to devil energy. Like, would it make me comfortable if this person just continued acting in this way? Is that what I want? Right? Because if I want a change in that behavior, I can't force it, but the best thing I can do is to infuse love into it, not by hating this person, right? So we can have attachments to devil energy, to where when the devil, and that may be hidden. See, that's a hidden thing, because we think, of course we don't want that, of course I don't want that person to act like that. But there's something about them continuing to act like that that feels like a confirmation, right? Because if they stop acting like that, then we have to think about how we've been judging them, how we've been talking negatively about them, how, like, we have to confront all these things about ourselves. That person doesn't do that stuff anymore, right? So we have to confront all these things about ourselves. So it's easier, it's more confirming to allow, it's more of an affirmation and confirmation for them to stay in that energy, but that energy is not healthy. So we have to let go of our attachment to that energy. We have Knight of Pentacles and Justice. So Justice is trying to balance the scales. Justice is trying to, like, figure things out. Maybe balancing duality and oneness. Figuring out how to plant the seeds in this situation. Balancing duality and oneness. I think it's really about maybe even about balancing the seeds that you've planted in this relationship. The participation that you've had in this dynamic. And understanding that when you plant seeds, this is more clear to me. When you plant positive seeds, because Knight of Pentacles is upright, right? So these are positive seeds that you're planting that will grow. But it is slow. It's a slow process. Knight of Pentacles is a slow energy. So what may be hidden to us, what definitely is hidden, because we may be trying to, like, figure out if, okay, I planted this seed, did it take root? Did it work? Right? And it's not for us to understand all the time, right? This energy is happening behind the scenes. It's for us to just do our job and let the universe take it from there, right? So trying to figure out with the Libra energy, trying to figure out, well, did it change anything? Like, who cares? Like, work on you and let the other stuff be about them. Do your part in the situation. Take the inspired action when it comes to you, and forget about what effect it had, because like I said, there are situations where this is not going to be worked out in this lifetime. So if that's the case, you're going to spend your whole life waiting for the seeds to take root. You did. You infused love into the situation. Like, you did that. That's all you need to know. Everything else is hidden. So we'll look at the outcome and then we'll wrap up this reading. So the outcome here is when you see dysfunction in the situation, it's gonna cause stress. You're not gonna like to see it. It may not cause actual stress and anxiety, but it's gonna be hard to watch, right? But you just need to take inspired action when the inspiration comes into you for you to take action. Do it. But if it has nothing to do with you, let it be. And if you have no way of taking, like, think of it this way. Do I have a way of taking action in this situation that is infusing love into the situation and not being overbearing? Because don't sit back and be like, well, I know that this is loving and I know that you don't like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I know that this is love, right? Don't do that. Don't force yourself on people, right? If they're uncomfortable with where you are consciously, then let them be uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable because they're sitting in an energy that's misaligned, right? Let them be uncomfortable. But you don't need to keep coming at them with all of this love and positivity. Like they're not going to respond to that. So you have King of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So I think the outcome, in the beginning of the reading, it was talking about there's an imbalance that you have between the physical world and the spiritual world. And it's because you're really retreating a lot from the chaos and conflict. It's uncomfortable for you. You don't want to deal with it. You want to walk away from it. And I think through this process, you're going to learn to be the master of this physical realm with the King of Pentacles. You're going to learn to be the master because the king is action, right? So it's action regarding the physical realm. You're going to be the master of the actions that you take in this physical realm. You're going to master it. And also, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, like the actions that you take, when you rush in with action, it's going to be divinely inspired. It's going to be the correct actions in the situation. And it may take a while for you to get there. And don't shame yourself if you're not there. You have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So there's a resistance to this. There's a resistance to this energy, right? There's a resistance to the destiny in this family, right? This unit. You may think, man, I don't even want, it's a situation I don't want to deal with. I want to walk away from this situation. You may have gone hermit mode. You may be totally off by yourself doing your own thing, right? And Spirit is saying you need to come out of hermit mode a little bit. It's time to at least call your family on their birthday, call on Mother's Day and Father's Day. Maybe, if they celebrate holidays, spend the holiday with them, even if you don't celebrate holidays. Sometimes you have to think of I can do something that maybe I don't really care about this thing. It's not a big thing to me, but I know it's a big thing to this other person. So I'm infusing love in the situation by putting myself out there, right? But so in the case of going to holidays, if Thanksgiving dinner is a shit show every year of toxicity, then don't go. You need to gauge what is healthy for you to be involved with. And if it's healthy for you to be involved with and it brings joy to somebody else and it's not taking away from you in any kind of way, then do it, right? So that is your reading, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful for you. There are new beginnings coming for you with the Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle card. There are new beginnings coming, so look out for that. Just watch the energy around you. And if you guys enjoyed this video, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, Scorpio. Bye.